Okay. Going to have that here. Give me 1 minute. Okay, great. Okay, so I'm guessing for most part, for the first 3 questions, I never had a problem in terms of the questions I was receiving from a lot of you. Okay. So is everybody able to see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So for the first question, okay, let's go over what some of the things were. There are 585 baby sweaters. Each sweater was weighing so much, and the cost of this sweater was $2.30. The combined tariff was 0.318 per kg, which anytime you see a kg or 1 unit or number of units, that itself tells you that is specific duty. So I think some of you had those questions about, for the 4th question, what are we supposed to calculate? So if you anytime see a percentage, that's always ad valorem duty. So for this question, it was a combined tariff. So the first part was specific and the second part was ad valorem. And then there was insurance and freight, which basically would be a part of the CIF costing structure. So I think most of you got this right. Let me know if anybody had a different answer, missed any step, or had any other doubt in this particular one. So you calculate your total number of kgs, and then because it was 0.318 per kg, you multiply total number of kgs times your dollar amount. So that would be 210, which is just the specific duty. And the ad valorem duty would be based on the value of the shipment. So $2.30 was your cost for 580 for each unit, and 585 sweaters would be $13.45 and 50 cents, and 14.4% would be 193, and hence you would have 403.96. And I will be posting this on Canvas right after this meeting. So don't worry about clicking pictures and all of that stuff. I will post it. You will have access to it. But just I need to make sure that you're understanding this correct. Now your specific duty for CIF is not going to change because the weight of your sweaters is not changed. Nothing of those is changed. So specific duty is just based on weight or the number of units, and that hasn't changed. Whereas the ad valorem duty will change because the CIF includes not just the cost, but insurance and freight as well. So you will have your FOB value plus freight and insurance times your ad valorem tariff rate. So instead of 2.3 as your cost, we now have 2.73 because we included freight and insurance as well, and which increases the value of these 585 sweaters. And then 14.4% of that also increases the total ad valorem duty. So you should have gotten $440.19. Everybody with me here? Everybody okay? Any questions?
Yeah, I've got a question.
Sure, absolutely.
So in the book, like so that's just the combined duty due. But for like the homework, was that like the sales price plus the combined duty? Because I mean, that's what I did. 'Cause
Um, sorry, who is this again?
this is
I'm trying
Justin.
to. Sorry?
This is Justin.
Hi, Justin. The question is asking you just what is the duty due. If the question would have asked you calculate the FOB price, then you would add the duty plus the price and then take the total of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but yeah, I guess.
So the question is asking you just the duty part of it. But let's say if I would have asked you, what would each sweater cost me? Okay, so this is your duty. Okay.
Yeah.
And then if it would have asked me what would be the FOB price of each sweater, then what I would have to do is, where are my 585? So I would have to do 403.96 divided by 585. So that's about 0.7-ish. So I would have to add 2.3 plus 0.7 as my each cost for FOB, just including the duty.
Okay, because that was a little confusing because in the book it said part of that the FOB ad valorem is including the sales price.
Okay, give me 1 minute. I'm just opening up the book really quick. Okay. So I don't see what you're trying to tell me, because even in the book, it is the ad valorem duty due for the reptile leather luggage example on page number 135. If you see that FOB ad valorem duty, it still shows 340 is your FOB value times 1250 times 8.5%. So that $36,125 in your book is just the duty due. And if I had to calculate the price, then I would have to do 36,125 divided by 1250 and then add it.
Oh, that's not what I mean. I don't mean the per unit price. I meant like the total price. So including like the 585 sweaters. That's where I was a little confused, I guess.
No, I don't see that here, and I can meet one-on-one with you to go over it again. But
Because yeah, I definitely got all those numbers.
okay,
I just
so
added
see this one.
those to the sale
So
price.
this 585 sweaters at 230 is what your corresponding step in your textbook would be 340 into 1250 on page number 135.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes. So I just went ahead, calculated this, and then I multiplied by 14.4%, which is your ad valorem duty.
Oh no, I mean I got the right math. I got the 210 and the 410, but I added the 403, but I added 403 to the sales price.
Okay. Okay. So I would just say that if I would have asked you what is the final FOB price, that's when you would have to do that.
Okay.
Okay. But here we are just calculating the duty part of it right now. We are not calculating the FOB price as such.
Okay, yeah, I got a little confused on that.
Okay. Does anybody else have any question? Okay. So I guess for the next question, was it very similar to the first? I would say yes. So we had cotton t-shirts. Each t-shirt weighed about 0.9 kgs. So that would give you a hint that that is your specific duty. The cost of the t-shirt was $1.95. Combined duty was so and so. So again, very similar steps as to the first question. How did everybody do or find this question? Was it okay? So when you're doing your CIF, you're calculating your freight and insurance and your FOB value, and then multiplying that with your 14.4% to get your CIF, to get your ad valorem duty. Did anyone have any questions to the second question? Okay. Now coming to your third question, very similar to the first two. So let me know if you need me to stop somewhere, and if you did not get it right, and if you could tell me where you want me to focus on. Okay. No questions on that one as well. So I guess everybody is waiting for the fourth question. Now, what changed between the fourth and the first three questions? Let's look at it. So this one had 695 men's woven cotton shirts from China. And in this particular question, the direct cost was not given to you, but you were expected to calculate the cost per t-shirt. So it says you can copy the fabric in prints and colors at a cost of $2.50 per yard. Each shirt takes about 1.2 yards, and the factory quoted a CMT price of 2 per shirt. Now, if you haven't come across the word CMT, or if you have not yet read up what CMT is, it's the cut, make, trim. So just the stitching or the manufacturing part of the t-shirt would be $2 per shirt. And these shirts are ad valorem duty of 19.8%. And the shipping of the shirt costs 0.3 per piece. And the transportation is about 0.14 per shirt. Okay. Okay. So now for the total cost of the shirt, so this is what was different. So you had to calculate cost of each shirt. So fabric and trim each came up to $5 per shirt, and we had 695 shirts, so that came up to $3,475. So the total cost would be $3,475 times 19.8%. It's $688.05. So because this was just an ad valorem duty, you didn't have to do anything else but just calculate ad valorem duty. And then for the CIF, including the $5, you had to calculate, take into account the other two expenses, which raised the total value of per shirt, and then multiplied by total number of shirts. Again, it's a little bit more than FOB price in terms of the duty due. Questions?
Are you going to be giving us any partial credit if we, like for number 3, I did 396 times 1.11 times 0.330 because I thought I had to get it per unit. Okay. So because like of that 1.11, that obviously messed up my first answer, which messed up like the rest of my answers. But aside from that, like all my other work is right. So like, would that be completely wrong, or would you give partial credit?
Okay, great question, Madison. You all are going to get the full 10 points as long as you have answered the questions. I'm not going to cut any points for accuracy because I know that you all have been working. So as long as you have entered a number in there, you will all get full points. And what I need you to do is go back to your work and check against the steps and see where you could have changed or what went wrong, kind of stuff.
Wow, thank you. But for number 3, like, I don't know why I thought to divide by the units to get that 1.11. I guess that's wrong. Oops.
Okay, because the questions are not asking you, and frankly speaking, your questions on exam are going to look any of like these questions. You're not going to get anything different than what you have done already in these 4 types of questions. I'm not asking you FOB duty due. If I would have asked you FOB duty due per unit, then you take the total number and divide it by whatever, 396 in this case. Or if, as for Justin's question, if I would have asked you what's the FOB price, then you take the total cost plus the duty and tell me the FOB price. So there are different ways of how you can still go deeper, but for right now and for this chapter, you all need to know how to calculate ad valorem duty and specific duty.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Hi, I was just wondering if you were going to post this key.
Yes, I am going to post this key.
Okay, thank you.
If you don't have any other questions, then we can dismiss for now. And if anybody wants to stay back and discuss something else, we can talk about that too. And I'm going to stop the recording.